bit delayed. So sorry, everyone. Maybe my connection is not very good. So sorry for that. Let me repeat again. It's my great honor to host the ZNShine Group second global webinar. This is Lily from ZNShine Solar. I'm responsible for global sales and marketing. So this webinar topic, I think, should be interesting for all of you. We will focus on distribution market globally. So we invite all the related main market for distribution market global, and we also invite some distinguished guests from international organizations such as the Bloomberg, PVEL, SUNLOVE, and all of guests will give very good experience sharing to our global client. So first, let me introduce our guests first. So let me introduce, okay, our first guest from Bloomberg, Mr. Will. So Mr. Will, could you show your camera? You will say hello to us.
Hi, can you hear me?
Okay. Okay, Mr. Bill. Okay, I can hear you. I just want to show your camera. Let's all get to see who are you, very handsome guy. Okay.
Hi,
good.
everyone. I'm
Hello.
Will. I'm from BloombergNEF.
Okay.
I sit in Sydney and I cover distributed energy resources. So I look at solar, batteries, and a little bit of electric vehicles as well. I'll be talking about Australia's world-leading solar market.
Very good.
Explosive
Very
growth.
good. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bill. Just a brief introduction for every guest. And we are looking forward to your great presentation for Australian market, okay?
Right.
Thank you, sir. Okay, next our distinguished guest from One Stop Warehouse. So One Stop Warehouse is top 100 fast-growing company in Australia. And the boss from the company is from China. Mr. Liu Ye will give very good presentation, tell us how One Stop Warehouse, this legend company, can be the top one in Australia. So, Mr. Liu Ye, would you say hello to everyone?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Lily. Nice to meet you and nice to meet everyone here. My name is Leo from One Stop Warehouse and the product manager here.
Wonderful, wonderful, Leo. Okay, let me introduce another guest from Poland. So Poland is also very fast-growing distribution market this year. So they have already increased over than 40% compared with 2019 this year. So Mr. Krzysztof is our main distributor in Poland, and they make very good performances for ZNShine panel sales.
Znakomite osiągi, jeśli chodzi o sprzedaż paneli fotowoltaicznych ZNShine.
Witam wszystkich.
Welcome everyone.
Chciałbym się przedstawić. Pracujemy w Polsce nad dystrybucją modułów ZNShine.
I would like to introduce myself. We are working in Poland on very hard on distributing ZNShine solar PV panels.
Staramy się to robić jak najlepiej, żeby nasza szefowa była z nas zadowolona.
We are doing our best to do it as best we can, so that our boss is happy with us.
Very good.
Chcemy dzisiaj powiedzieć jeszcze o trochę sprawach technicznych i o bezpieczeństwie instalacji fotowoltaicznych.
Today I would like to later on say a few words about safety, about the technical issues and safety issues related to PV installations.
We are looking forward to your sharing. Thank you, Mr. Krzysztof. Okay. Okay, next guest from PVEL. As we all know, PVEL is a very famous global, the third-party testing lab. And they are 3 times harder test than IEC standard. So it's our great honor to invite the CEO, Mr. Jenya from PVEL. So hello, Mr. Jenya. Are you there?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here. Hello. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here. Happy to be here.
Wow, very nice to meet you again. Okay, looking forward to a great sharing.
Likewise.
Okay, and yeah, another guest is the founder, one of the founder for China distribution story from Jiaxing. So Madam Miss Shao will sharing the Chinese experience for distribution market. So Miss Xu, are you there? Hello, Miss Xu.
Hello， 大家好，非常感恩振兴光伏给予我们这一次分享。中国光伏的分布是起源于嘉兴，然后嘉兴光伏是走向全球，所以呢，我们知名的几个品牌都来源于嘉兴，但是分布式呢起源于嘉兴。没有。
Hello, Leo.
Hi, Lily.
Hi, good. I hear you. Okay, we are looking forward to your first speech to us.
Okay, cool. I think we have a video to play before the presentation.
Okay.
Can you play this?
You can share your screen to us.
One sec. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. All right. I'd like to play this video first. You hear anything?
Yeah, I can hear you. No any problem. Yeah, Leo, probably no voice, but we can see your screen. Customer service.
Okay. All right. So my name is Leo from One Stop Warehouse. I'm the product manager here. Today's topic is how One Stop Warehouse has become the largest solar distributor in Australia. Firstly, I'd like to share some key company milestones with you. Company One Stop Warehouse is founded in 2013 in Perth, in Perth, Western Australia, which is kind of like an islanding area of Australia. The nearest capital city is Adelaide, which is like far away, like over 2,500 kilometers away from Perth. We choose this area to grow, start to grow, because it's far from the competitive East Coast. So, and we can do some more. We could do more things in the West Coast. So, in 2014, we opened our second branch in Adelaide, and then the following year, we opened the third one in Queensland, and started to grow very fast from that year. 2016, we launched our second business called Green Deal, which is a STC aggregator. I'll give you a little bit more in the following slides. Also, in the same year, GCL become a partner, like a shareholder of One Stop Warehouse too. In 2017, our revenues hit 160 million, which is a very good result in that year. And in 2018, revenue hit 330 million, and we started to become the largest distributor from that year. And also in 2019, the third business called Discover Energy, which is an electricity retailer, was founded too. And the revenue in the same year reached 450 million. Okay. So for the revenue achievement, like I just mentioned, we did pretty well in the past few years, and overall our average growth rate is over 50%, and especially in the past 3 years, we grew really fast. In terms of the revenue and market share, both from the year of 2018, we start to become number one, and 2018 probably roughly 19% of market share. And this year till now, we can see that we hit around like 22-23% market share. And we know the market also growing, but we can also see that we're growing faster than the market. So that become comes with the result that we got a lot of we won a lot of awards, like this Australian Financial Review from 2018 to this year. We got rewards every year from them, like Fast 100 list, Top 500 list, and #1 fastest growing entity in 2019, and Fast 100 list in this year too. Yeah. Also this year we also won the one of the ranked in 173 in the Financial Times High Growth Company Asia Pacific area. For One Stop Warehouse Group, like I just mentioned a little bit already, we have One Stop Warehouse, which is a solar equipment wholesaler. Also Green Deal is an STC aggregator. For Green Deal, the STC aggregator, that means we help customer, help installer, retailer to collect the STCs and the and help them to for the cash flow. This is a rebate program in Australia. And Discover Energy, which is a energy and VPP retailer. We do electricity, we do gas, and also we do VPP, virtual power plant. That's the future things for battery storage. Yeah, all these three business we care for the installer. We want to help the installers and retailers, just help them to get a product through One Stop Warehouse, and help them to get a rebate from government. That's a Green Deal's job, and help them to give them more weapons, such as cheap electricity and gas, and use VPP even for customers. They can eventually earn some money. Perfect. That's very good. So that's our aim. All the businesses we care for installer, all for installers. Okay. In terms of volume of One Stop Warehouse wholesaler, in 2018 for panel side we reached the 305 megawatt. And in that year, the whole market volume is about 1.6 gigawatt. Normally it's about like 100 kilowatt, below 100 kilowatt system, and this has its statistics. And for panel 2019 last year, we did 430 megawatt, and the market size is about like 2.1 gigawatt. And so the volume increase rate is about 41% of a panel. In terms of the inverter, we also increase about 44.6% volume for our own, and mounting system 40.7%, battery storage more than double. This year, the first 5 months from January to May, we already did panel 215 megawatt, inverter 165, and mounting structure 240, and battery storage 10 megawatt hour. We see, this year, the first 5 months, we face a lot of challenge. For example, the COVID-19 and the the impact after COVID-19 is the economic crisis in Australia. That's also give the whole industry a lot of impact, and we think we still do well. We still can keep the pace as what we expected. One-stop warehouse, the product range, we supply everything from solar panel, inverter, battery storage solutions to our mounting structures and the small piece and piece electrical balance of systems. We have a big brand range from the top tier to lower tier. Of course, in Australia, we try to give more brands to customer to choose, so that installer knows what knows he can get from us everything. And also the second point is we can supply sufficient and stable stock for them, so that they're willing to buy from us. And also we ensure that we are the one-stop place for all the customers' solar needs. When they come to us, come to our sales managers, they ask for a product, which we try our best to meet their requirements. We also have our own app. Of course, website. We also have the website, also the app. They mainly installers, customers, they can go to our website and our app to check the products and check the price. And also they also can place purchase order directly through website and the app. Easier for them. Our warehouse for installers, we care for them too. So all over the Australia, we have 5 self-managed warehouse, and also 10 third-party warehouses. Try our best to supply the goods for them, for installers, and we try our best to open our to keep our warehouses open as long as possible. So from in the morning 7 o'clock we started, and we close our door at 5:30. Yeah. Also we give installer more flexibility to them. Also, if sometimes they come to us for quick order, for rush order, we also try our best to meet their requirements. Besides the ones I just talked about, we also have more other ways to support customers. First one, tech support. It's very important for us too. A lot of the local distributors, the other distributors, they might not have tech support. They're seeking help from suppliers. From our point of view, we try to give customer the first point of contact from us. So we learn from the suppliers. Then we we teach, we train our customers. We have a tech team of 3 people. Second one, we also do warranty claim support for customers too. We are the first, and we are the only contact window for our customers for warranty support, warranty claims. They don't have to go to every suppliers. So the third one, we also provide marketing support for our customers. Some retailers, they they're not that big. They don't have their own marketing person. We use our marketing resources, help them to design, for example, design their marketing, let's say flyers or their website. Teach them how to build relationship with customers, how to build how to do online sales. The first one, the next one is finance support. We give our customer, we also give our customer credit terms to support support their jobs. The last one, logistics side. We can do transportation for customers too. Send goods to the destinations they want us to send. In terms of this year, we face a lot of challenges, like I just mentioned earlier. For the COVID-19 is the hot topic everyone is talking this year. How we cope with this crisis? Stage one, in January and February, the pandemic in China. We try to stock. Firstly we try to stock, get a stock from suppliers locally in Australia as much as possible, and we also try to arrange stock from China ASAP. And the logistics side is very important. From us, we actually action very early for the whole thing. Before Spring Festival, we already started to action. So we know the urgency. From us, we try to secure the stock too. And financial side, we also have a plan for customers and for the suppliers. Stage two, from March until now, that's the pandemic is spread outside of China, including Australia. So in this period in Australia, we also experiencing the shutdown, lockdown. Everyone working from home except the essential services jobs. So solar is essential, so people still can do. So our warehouse still open, but people can't. The customer cannot go to see end customer. So we help them we train them to do online marketing and online sales. Also, for this online marketing and online sales, we had a series of a webinar. We invited Colin from ZNShine to had a topic too in one of the series webinar. We also try our best to stabilize the price and stabilize the stock, and of course maybe some purchase order being delayed due to this issue, but we try to fulfill as much as possible from our end. And also we try to provide financial support to customers, help them to conquer this period. And now we can see that it becomes better. Yeah, that's what we do in our offices, in our warehouses. We don't want the staff and want the customer to have the danger. So we also do our working responsibly. Okay, that's all from me. Thanks for ZNShine to give this opportunity to present ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. Very impressive presentation. You know, it's my first time visit Australia in 2010. So at that time, for my memory, the total distribution market cap is around 800 mega. And to now, 2020, I think the market cap is every year increasing. So I always tell our team, we have to try our best to close the big distributor, wholesaler in every countries. So because we see this section of the market is increasing every year. So 2020, I think at least maybe more than 2 giga, do you think? Although maybe Corona situation, or maybe 1 giga?
This year, from the presentation I just show you, in the first 5 months, it's roughly already almost reached one gigawatt. So we see this market still growing.
So
yeah.
So this is really sustainable market in every country. So we should learn from Australia distribution market. But for the over than 10 years, long history for distribution in this market for solar panel. So I think your company, One Stop, is not the old one. It's the newer here. You told us you started your business since 2013. So
Yes.
less than 7 years, you can be the top one in the market. I know the competition for wholesaler distribution market in Australia is really serious. We see so many big ones. Now it's already disappeared in the market. But you're still there and fast growing for the top 100 in Australia. Could you give us one word to reach that? By your financing ability, strong background, your products, your great service, as you said, it's your great team, or maybe fast, response to the client, or some special unique of One Stop, you can make these performances. If I ask you to find only one word, which word will be the most important? So sorry to challenge you.
Okay. If it's just one word, it would be dedicate.
Delicate.
That means everyone in this company is to fight to the end every day. Like for example, the sales team, they're not just working from 9 to 5. They in the evening they also need to get at home. They also need to do some work. Like they need to do some preview or review for the day, for tomorrow, what they need to do. So they all know what they want to do.
But some clients challenge you just for your price, competitive price. Is it true?
It's let's say of course sometimes you can see price, but you also can see price from others.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So what we see, this is very normal, but we don't want to be the one to lower the price. It's not us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not us. It's the market. The market driven. The market
Right.
drop down the price. We follow the trend.
Exactly right. Thank you so much. This year it's our honor to be a distributor for One Stop Warehouse. By your webinar, by your sales strategy, by all your sales CRM system, we learn quite a lot from you, to be honest. So for ZNShine, it's very good opportunity. So hopefully we can sustain our business and we can share your great experience to the global distributors plant. Thank you so much, Leo. Thank you. Really nice.
Thanks, Lily.
Okay. Thank you. Much appreciated. So the second topic, I think it will be also very interesting. This is from our biggest distributor in Poland. As I said, And the situation is no any sales, local sales, help or support to our distributor, this distributor, Mr. Krzysztof. He can make very good performances. They are unique distributor only focus on our double glass and the graphene coating panel, self-cleaning panel in the market. And they can reach top 5 distributor in Poland. And they have already got over than 7% marketing cap by only our ZNShine panel. So we are great thanks our distributor, Mr. Krzysztof. And we also expect Mr. Krzysztof to share their successful experience to us. So now, thank you for your sharing, and let me invite our distributor in Poland, Mr. Krzysztof. It's your turn. Mr. Krzysztof's topic is fire safety in solar farm. So please go ahead.
Witam wszystkich.
Welcome everyone.
Już jestem słyszany chyba.
Can you hear me?
Chciałbym się skupić, kolega z Australii opowiadał o problemach z koronawirusem, a my spróbujemy coś powiedzieć na temat bezpieczeństwa przede wszystkim.
Our colleague from Australia said a few words about coronavirus, COVID, and I'm going to focus mainly on matters of safety.
Tak jak nasza szefowa Lili powiedziała, skupiamy się głównie na sprzedaży modułów double glass.
Like boss Lily said, we focus mainly on selling double glass units.
Uważamy, że szkło jest o wiele bardziej wytrzymałe od folii, więc backsheet, tylna część modułu, uważamy, że jest zdecydowanie lepiej, jeśli jest wykonane ze szkła. Co?
We believe glass to be much more durable, much better than foil, so we believe that the backsheet of a panel is much better when it is made of glass.
Ostatnie testy laboratorium PVL pokazały, że wszystkie badania najlepiej przeszedł moduł z podwójnym szkłem.
All the recent tests at the PVL lab showed that all the tests, that the modules with double glass performed best in all tests that they carried out.
Więc uważam, że przy tej samej cenie modułów, czy tam nieznacznie troszkę wyższej, stosowanie szkła zamiast folii jest zdecydowanie bezpieczniejsze pod względem przede wszystkim pożarowym, jak i wytrzymałości.
So I believe that given that the price is the same or just a little bit higher, I think that using glass rather than foil is much better, much safer, especially in terms of fire safety and durability.
Jednak zacznę może od
Hello. Hi, Mr. Krzysztof. Hello. Maybe some connection problem. So, Mr. Krzysztof, are there? Hello. Hi, Mr. Krzysztof.
Jest, słyszymy już.
Okay, you are back again.
Jakiś problem był.
we lost you for some part.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead.
Czy było to początek słychać?
Did you hear the beginning of the presentation?
Halo? Dobra, jedziemy
So
dalej.
let's move on.
Chciałbym
I would like to
poopowiadać
tell
o
you
szybach
about
samoczyszczących,
self-cleaning glass,
które są stosowane
which is
powszechnie,
used commonly
na przykład w okularach,
in glasses, for example,
czy w
eyeglasses,
budownictwie.
or in construction, in buildings.
Więc przejdźmy dalej.
So let's move
Skąd
on.
się to wzięło
So where does
w
it come
modułach
from in
fotowoltaicznych?
PV modules?
Od 20 lat są stosowane na świecie szyby samoczyszczące,
They've been used for 20 years in the world, self-cleaning glass, that's the duration.
które znakomicie poprawiają nam ekonomię czyszczenia i konserwacji.
And they are great in improving the economics of cleaning and conservation.
Są to powłoki dużo trwalsze od szkła.
These coatings are much more durable than glass itself.
Przykłady zastosowania. Najczęściej stosuje się to w dużych budynkach, gdzie jest problem z dostępem. Jest problem, no?
They are usually used in buildings where it's difficult to access certain areas.
Gdzie jest problem z czyszczeniem. Dlatego firma ZNShine stwierdziła, że trzeba ten pomysł przenieść do modułów słonecznych.
So wherever there's a problem with cleaning, so that ZNShine decided to take this solution and use it in solar PV panels.
Jest wiele badań naukowych, które potwierdzają dobre działanie szyb samoczyszczących.
There is a lot of research to prove that self-cleaning glass performs well.
Zasada działania jest taka, że to musi być szyba o właściwościach hydrofilnych.
The principle is that the glass has to be hydrophilic.
Wtedy woda jest przyciągana do szyby i w ten sposób woda oczyszcza nasz moduł słoneczny.
That's how water is attracted to the glass and it then cleans our PV modules.
Jest to odwrotność hydrofobii, gdzie woda jest odpychana i krople wody zlatują po szybie i nie oczyszczają tej szyby.
That's the reverse of the principle of being hydrophobic, where the drops of water are repelled from the glass and they do not take part in the cleaning process.
Tu są przykłady na zdjęciach z modułów bez powłok samoczyszczących i z powłokami samoczyszczącymi. Te powłoki wykonuje się w ten sposób, że nakłada się tlenki metali czy grafenu, tytanu na szybę.
So you just saw examples of glass that with self-cleaning coating and without it. And the way it's done, the coating is done, is that you coat the glass with oxides of metals, of graphene, of titanium, for example.
Badania naukowe stwierdzają, że to jest około 5-6% wyższa produkcja energii poprzez to, że szyba jest czysta. To jest naturalne.
And research tells us that the output of energy is 5 to 6% higher when the glass is cleaner, and that's self-evident.
Z uwagi na to, że
because dirt will stand in the way of sunshine, of sun rays getting inside the panel.
Przejdziemy do następnego. Tu jest przykład graficzny z badań naukowych, jak zachowuje się brud i woda na szybach samoczyszczących. Jest przykład z tlenkami tytanu, czyli szyby pokryte tlenkami tytanu i tlenkiem grafenu.
So moving on, you can see examples of some research on self-cleaning glass, and here you can see, for example, some oxides that were used for coating: titanium oxide, graphene oxide.
Chcemy pokazać, jak zachowuje się woda poprzez przyciąganie.
We would like to show you how water behaves when it is actually attracted. So rain is falling.
W ogóle nie widać kropli, jeśli pada deszcz, to w ogóle na takim module nie widać kropli wody. Ta woda jest od razu rozlewa się po szybie i jakby oczyszcza ten cały brud.
So you can see the rain is falling, but coated panels don't have, you can't see any water on them because the water is dispersed immediately on them. And in order for you to see that there isn't any difference in the amount of water falling down, you can see the non-coated panel, what happens, and the coated panel. And what
Jak
happens.
jest szyba hydrofobowa, to woda
So
po
on the
prostu
left, hydrophobic
przykula
glass, and
po
hydrophilic
szybie.
glass is on the right.
A tu,
Here you can see that the glass gets purified.
jak się zakończy, to przejdziemy dalej. Dobrze. Tu może pokażemy też hydrostatyczne. Proszę. Właściwości hydrostatyczne tego typu szyb. One po prostu nie przyciągają w ogóle brudu, nie przykleja się żaden pył do nich. Można go zdmuchnąć zwykłym odkurzaczem ogrodowym na przykład.
You can now observe hydrostatic properties of coated glass, and it does not attract any dust or any dirt. You can basically blow it off with a regular vacuum blower.
Jeśli mamy zwykłą szybę, to zostaje zawsze taki film
This is regular
brudu.
glass. You can see some film, a dirt film.
Nie ma możliwości, żeby to jest akurat mąka, zwykła mąka.
This is regular flour that we put on the glass.
Ale mąka jest też tłusta, więc jest bardzo dużym problemem, żeby uzyskać idealną nieprzyczepność właśnie.
But flour is greasy as well, so it's very hard not to get it stuck to the glass.
Właśnie na szybie pokrytymi tlenkami nic się do tego nie przykleja. To też ma duże znaczenie, jeśli chodzi o glony różnego typu na instalacjach. Nie robią się zielone jakieś tam zwierzątka czy rośliny.
Glass, you can see that on this kind of glass nothing stays, and that is also helpful with various algae, so you won't get a green film with some living creatures in it.
Firmy budowlane, czyli w szybach Pillington firma czy Saint-Gobain twierdzą, że twardość i wytrzymałość tych tlenków są kilkukrotnie lepsze właściwości ma od zwykłych szyb.
In the construction business, companies such as Pilkington and Saint-Gobain claim that such glass has much better properties in terms of hardness and durability, several times better properties than regular glass.
Dobra, teraz przejdźmy do budowy modułu.
Moving on to the structure of the module.
Tak jak już powiedziałem na początku, w laboratorium PVL w tym roku zostały również przebadane moduły Double Glass.
As I said earlier this year, the PV Lab ran some tests earlier this year on double glass modules.
Potwierdzili to, że moduły takie mają zdecydowanie lepszą wytrzymałość na różne warunki atmosferyczne i ogólnie na wszystkie testy PVL.
And they confirmed that such modules have much better resistance to various weather conditions and basically performed better in all the tests that they carried out.
Przepuść dalej. Tutaj jest w filmie. Tu bym chciał pokazać, że w ciągu 3 sekund backsheet zapala się plastikowy. Oczywiście to używany jest uszkodzony moduł, bo szkoda było mi.
Now I would like to show you how a module can catch fire in 3 seconds.
Jedyną rzeczą w double glassie to jest to, że pęka szyba, tam się nic nie zapala.
In double glass modules, the only thing that happens is that the glass will crack, but nothing will get ignited.
Normalny zapala się w ciągu 2 sekund.
And a regular module will catch fire within 2 seconds.
I zaczyna kapać, przenosi się potem ogień na następny moduł.
You can see the plastic dripping, and then the fire will spread onto the next module, and the entire installation will suddenly be on fire.
Chciałbym jeszcze zaznaczyć, że w łuku elektrycznym jest 4-krotnie wyższa temperatura jak w tym palniku, który użyłem.
And let me just point out that electric arc has temperatures that are 4 times higher than the temperature that was applied in this video.
Czyli jedziemy dalej. Teraz tu mamy przykład prawdziwej awarii modułu czy kabla. Nie wiadomo, jak to się stało. Na pewno możliwe, że to instalator pociągnął za kabel przy montażu, czy przytrzymał moduł, czy coś.
Here we can have a real life situation which actually happened, and we don't know what the problem was, whether it was an issue with the module or the wiring. Perhaps the installer pulled on the wiring or did something inappropriate to the module.
Widać dokładnie, że spaliła się cała puszka, zabrudził się cały panel, ale jak można zauważyć w górnym prawym rogu, następne moduły zostały nieuszkodzone, ogień nie przeniósł się na następny moduł, jak również na cały dach. Więc bezpieczeństwo pożarowe jest bardzo ważne. Czyli jeśli używamy modułów double glass, podstawową rzeczą jest taka, że to nie rozprzestrzenia ognia pod modułami.
As you can see, the whole box here is being burned and the panel is dirty from the fire. And but we can see that the next panels have not caught fire, and that this is crucial. The roof has not caught fire either. This is very important in terms of fire safety. With double glass panels, this fire will not spread.
Tutaj mamy przykład stosowania metalowych zapinek kabli. Z uwagi na to, że jak dochodzi do jakiegoś łuku, to zapinka, jeśli będzie z plastiku, to może łuk stopić ten plastik i te kable, czy tam wtyczka MC4 może opaść na dach.
Here you can see an example of using metal clips instead of plastic ones, because when we have an electric arc, then any plastic clip may melt, and then it will later on melt the wiring, or the MC4 plug will fall onto the roof.
Bardzo ważne jest, żeby zapinać to do ramek modułu z szybą, która jest bezpieczna dla łuku i łuk nie uszkodzi tej szyby, nie zapali modułu.
But it's very important to attach those clips to the frame of a glass panel because the electric arc will not damage the glass.
Wtedy nie ma możliwości, żeby kable spadły na dach.
And then the wiring will not fall onto the roof. There's no risk of that.
Pokażemy też takie 3 zasady ogólnie, ja uważam, że może nie ja uważam, strażacy uważają, że ogień nie powstanie nigdy, jeśli źródło ognia jest w dostatecznej odległości od materiału palnego, czyli w tym przypadku jest to kabel uniesiony o jakieś 15 cm nad dachem, który jest wykonany z łatwopalnego tworzywa.
And now I'm going to share 3 principles which firefighters believe are crucial in any fire spreading. So first of all, the source of the fire must be distant at least 15 centimeters from
dachem. To też zdecydowanie poprawia bezpieczeństwo, bo praktycznie łuk nie ma możliwości zapalenia dachu.
And on the right hand side you can see an elevated structure where such a structure greatly improves safety because electric arc will in no way be able to ignite such a roof.
Wyspę, coś piszą. Więc podniesienie tych modułów to nie jest żaden koszt, zwłaszcza, że w takim układzie mamy też dużo lepsze chłodzenie modułów i uzyski, czyli produkcja energii też jest znacznie wyższa.
And raising the modules comes at basically no cost, elevating them from the surface below, and then at the same time we have much better energy output because there is much better cooling as well.
Pokażemy, jak wygląda budowa modułu double glass.
Now let me show you the structure of a double glass module.
To chyba wszyscy znają.
Przejdźmy
dalej. Na dachach wykonanych na przykład z blachy, która jest pokryta folią, Też dużo bezpieczniej jest zrobić tak zwany krzyżowy montaż, oddalając moduły, a przede wszystkim kable i wszystkie MC4 konektory.
And you can see here a steel sheet roof that is coated with foil, and in such a case it's also better to use an elevated structure that will distance all the modules and the cables and the connectors from the roof surface.
Ogólnie robi się jak najszybciej, jak najłatwiej. Wszystkie kable leżą tutaj pokazane na dachu.
Generally, the general practice is to do things as fast as possible, as easily as possible, and that's the result, where everything just rests on the roof, including all the cables and the connectors.
Jak mamy tak blisko moduł dachu, to nawet możemy zamocować tego kabla do modułu, bo nie ma miejsca, żeby rękę tam włożyć.
And if the module is so close to the roof surface, then it's even impossible to fit the cables to the module because you can't even put a hand underneath.
Ja mam tutaj, puść. To jest po kolei na pewno. Może inaczej. Cofnij. Chciałem powiedzieć tylko, że tak, możemy wyeliminować materiał palny.
What we can eliminate
instalacji, czyli plastik.
From the installation, and that would be eliminating plastic.
I możemy oddalić na bezpieczną odległość wszystkie przewody MC4.
And we can have keep a safe distance between all the cables and the connectors and the roof surface. That's what we can do.
Trzeci czynnik, który podtrzymuje ogień, to jest tlen, ale niestety nie da się tego wyeliminować.
And the third factor that sustains fire is oxygen, but that's what we cannot eliminate.
Ale chyba dobrze, bo tak musimy czymś oddychać.
But that's perhaps a good thing because we need something to breathe with.
Następny. Tu chciałbym jeszcze pokazać, coraz bardziej na rynku są, znaczy inaczej, niektóre firmy wprowadzają już instalacje z falownikami, które tak zwaną sztuczną inteligencję mają. Potrafią zrobić detekcję wszystkich błędów połączeń, wszystkich błędów izolacji.
And I would like to show you now that there are more and more companies, or some companies at least in the market, introduce inverters to installations, inverters which have the feature of artificial intelligence, and they can detect any error, any failure in insulation and in any component of the installation.
Chodzi o to, że instalator i właściciel instalacji mają online cały czas dostęp do wszystkich informacji dotyczących awarii potocznych na instalacjach fotowoltaicznych.
So in such a case, the installer and the owner of the whole system have real life online access to all and any failures that are generally commonplace in such systems.
Falowniki, na przykład Kehua i Huawei, to są dwie firmy, które mają tego typu detekcję błędów.
Two companies, Kehua and Huawei, have inverters which have the feature of such error and failure detection.
Potrafią od razu, robią alarm, jak jest jakiś problem, na przykład pęknięta szyba, czy hotspot, od którego może powstać pożar, czy inny problem, nawet z zabrudzeniem modułu, co też może doprowadzić do jakichś nieprzyjemności.
So you get immediately notified as soon as there's, for example, broken glass or some hotspot that can cause fire, or even some dirt which can cause issues later on.
Na platformie, jak to nazwać? Platforma kontrolna. Co? W aplikacji Kehua wszystkie tego typu zdarzenia są od razu pokazywane z alarmem.
And in the Kehua application, you can see that such events are immediately shown with an emergency signal sent out.
Możemy mieć milion instalacji i widzieć na bieżąco każdy problem z tego miliona instalacji, co jest niewykonalne, żeby jeździć na każdą i sprawdzać stan techniczny tych instalacji. Wydaje mi się, że gdyby tylko i wyłącznie takie falowniki były instalowane, nie byłoby żadnych problemów technicznych z instalacjami.
You can see here, even if you have 1 million such systems operating, you will immediately see all and any failures that have occurred. And if you were to go physically and do a checkup, a technical checkup on them, it would be basically impossible. So if we only had such inverters with such features in the market, then there would be no problems on the installations and on the systems that operate.
Chcielibyśmy powiedzieć, że też się pochwalić, że dostaliśmy medal na targach w Polsce właśnie za samoczyszczącą szybę w modułach fotowoltaicznych grafenowych ZNShine.
I would like to show you our success. We have received a medal at a trade exhibition in Poland. And that was for self-cleaning glass with graphene from ZNShine.
Teraz puścimy taki film podsumowujący to wszystko, co opowiadam.
Now we are going to show you a video that will sum up and wrap up all that I've shown you. Inflammable modules, double glass, resistant to fire, salt and damage.
Na rachunek przychodzi moduły double glass, uważam, które są trwalsze.
Graphene self-cleaning coat.
Dziękuję wszystkim. To było widoczne? Wszystko myślisz? Dziękuję wszystkim za uwagę.
Thank you everyone for your attention.
Czekamy na następnych prelegentów.
And we look forward to the next speakers.
Hi, Lily. Would you like me to start sharing my screen? It's Will here from BloombergNEF. Yeah, okay. I think I might just get going. Okay, so I think you've all seen this screen before, actually. But today I'll be talking about Australia's world-leading solar market. Australia is already far ahead of the rest of the world when it comes to solar adoption, and explosive growth over the next 3 decades will disrupt and fundamentally change the electricity system. For those that are active in this market, though, the opportunity is huge. And by 2050, Australian rooftop solar will grow to be a $106 billion market. Households are leading investment in this market, And by 2050, we expect residential users will add an additional 25 gigawatts of rooftop solar. This comes from a base of about 8 gigawatts today, where almost 1 in 4 homes currently have solar installed. By 2050, we expect almost half of all households will install solar panels. Homeowners will not be the only ones adding panels, and we already see property developers adding solar systems to entire housing estates before anyone has even moved in. Additionally, governments have been helping low-income earners enter the market by providing specialized subsidy schemes aimed at solar on rental properties. Households have been driven towards solar by high retail power prices, a generous government subsidy scheme, and low-cost panels. Unsubsidized panel prices now sit at roughly $1.50 Australian per watt. This is a price decrease of 40% in the past 5 years alone. I'd like to stop here and note that $1.50 per watt will probably not buy you a glass-covered, fireproof graphene panel from my Polish colleague. Nonetheless, we believe Australians can buy some of the cheapest panels in the world due to the hyper-competitiveness of the installer market. This means most solar systems are affordable enough to be purchased upfront without the need for financing. Businesses will add an additional 25 gigawatts of solar by 2050, bringing total behind-the-meter solar capacity to 61 gigawatts. Commercial and industrial users enjoy lower retail rates than their residential counterparts, meaning their economics are worse off. However, as the costs of solar panels continue to fall, solar will become more economic for a greater number of businesses. In an effort to green their portfolios, it may be the case that businesses will choose to install solar even if it's uneconomic. The current growth of RE100 members illustrates the significant motivation to do this. Smaller commercial businesses will add an enormous number of systems over the next few years. However, it's larger industrial-sized systems that are expected to have the biggest impact on capacity. Certain industries, such as agriculture, mining, and manufacturing, have large enough power demand and sufficient space to install a system that could be several hundred kilowatts in capacity. 61 gigawatts of behind-the-meter solar capacity will mean that by 2050, 24% of national electricity demand could be met by behind-the-meter sources. And this level of generation will prove to be very disruptive for power markets. On this chart, you can see the daily operational demand in South Australia. So this is demand for electricity from the grid. As you can see, demand for grid electricity is getting lower and lower and lower during the day and reaching really, really, really low levels. And this is because of the growth of rooftop solar in South Australia. South Australia is one of the most advanced states for adoption. And this is a challenge for networks who have a decreasing amount of usage to recover their costs from, and must also worry about low levels of demand and over voltage. As a result, export limits are becoming more common. Lower daytime demand also means that generators must adapt to a world where low or negative daytime wholesale power prices are more common. Retailers who pass through network and wholesale costs to consumers in the form of retail tariffs are being forced to change their retail tariffs to be more cost reflective and include some elements that vary throughout the day. So this could be a time of use tariff or a tariff with a demand charge. May look a bit like what you see on the screen, where the retail tariff is quite low during the middle of the day, and then you're expected to pay more for electricity in the morning and the evening. A tariff like this would have large impact on the economics of solar. This is because the retail tariff you're avoiding during the middle of the day is much lower. So why would you build solar when you can just have cheap electricity while the sun is up? It's also really bad for the economics of solar if networks continue to introduce more stringent export limits. Currently, the average solar system size in Australia sits at about 6.5 kilowatts. This is much larger than the average household's daytime energy demand. So a lot of the economics for solar currently in Australia are dependent on getting an export tariff. And if export limits are introduced by networks, it can really be bad for households. When it comes to these cost-reflective tariffs or export limits, batteries can really help to fight against both of these problems. And by helping to fight against these problems, they can also enable more growth in the solar market. By 2050, we expect over 2/3 of all behind-the-meter solar capacity will be paired with a battery. This amounts to almost 50 gigawatt hours of dispatchable storage capacity. These battery systems will mostly be purchased by households looking to avoid high retail rates and the solar export limits. However, if this capacity is aggregated and controlled, then it can provide more stability to the system as a whole, whilst delivering an extra piece of value to consumers. Australia has a booming VPP market with over 50 VPP schemes active today. Technology companies, retailers, and networks are all looking into aggregating these storage systems. My colleague Leo from earlier also mentioned how his solar distribution company also has their own VPP. So it seems everybody's doing it. But seriously, if these schemes are successful and can make storage more attractive to consumers, then we could certainly expect the enablement of a lot more solar capacity. As I mentioned earlier, the bulk of solar systems that have been bought today have been bought upfront. However, as businesses with a greater appetite for creative capital enter the market, we expect finance systems to explode in popularity. This could mean that up to $41 billion worth of solar could be financed before 2050. This is a fundamental shift to the market and presents a large opportunity for banks and other financial institutions to provide debt to these commercial industrial users. Since most Australian businesses rent their premises, however, debt isn't going to work for everybody. So more creative forms of financing, like solar power purchase agreements and leases, will also be needed. And retailers and the installers themselves are really well placed to provide these more flexible agreements. I'd just like to finish with a little mention of COVID. Both the previous presenters also touched on this topic. At BloombergNEF, we're tracking 3 possible scenarios for the virus. Up the top, you can see a single wave pandemic, in the middle, multi-wave pandemic, and down the bottom, an enduring pandemic. As you can see, the single wave pandemic obviously being the least destructive and least problematic, and enduring pandemic being really, really bad news for the solar industry. It may look bad because there are a bunch of down and flat lines. However, compared to other countries, we expect the Australian solar industry to be much more resilient. A large part of this is because there was no real interruptions to sales and installations during the lockdowns. So if there were to be more lockdowns in the case of a multi-wave or enduring pandemic, it's unlikely that direct operations for solar installers will be interrupted. For this reason, the primary hurdle to solar adoption in the short term is the economic uncertainty that may arise out of the pandemic. This is the reason why solar adoption is perceived to be so much lower during an enduring pandemic compared to a single wave pandemic. An enduring pandemic obviously carries with it the assumption that there would also be an economic depression, more unemployment, and less business investment. But the COVID-19 pandemic is a live, a happening situation, which we're following very closely. And as I've said, we expect the Australian solar market to be rather resilient. I hope I've shown you during this presentation how strong the fundamentals of the market are. And hopefully once we emerge from the pandemic, we can continue marching towards that $100 billion market value. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This is Jenya. I'll also jump into it here. First off, thanks to ZNShine for having me here. And let me share my screen. So my name is Jenya. I'm with PV Evolution Labs, or PVEL. We are a PV module test lab. We do reliability and performance testing on solar equipment, including modules, inverters, and increasingly batteries and battery systems as well. So we like to think of ourselves as the lab for the downstream market. By downstream, we're referring to banks, developers, EPCs, insurance companies, basically entities on the buy side of a procurement transaction, entities on the project side. We have over 400 downstream partners that we support globally. We are actively supporting these downstream partners in vendor selection and quality assurance and quality control when procuring modules. PVEL started about a decade ago in 2010, and we've pioneered the concept of bankability testing to support solar qualification and project valuations as well. So the backbone of our service is what we call the product qualification program. This is a fixed reliability testing program. It's all same testing program is performed on all of the manufacturers. We launched the program back in 2012 with two primary objectives, really to help project developers and investors with qualifying equipment and with evaluating potential vendors. There's no lack of data out there, but there is a lack of good quality, consistent, unbiased data. And of course, to independently recognize manufacturers that perform well. We perform this testing on every manufacturer that's active in the US market and many that are active globally, and not all manufacturers perform well, of course. The testing is performed on all of the different bill of materials, and there's predefined retesting guidelines that define the testing programs as new bill of materials are introduced. So to date, we've tested products from about 360 different bill of materials from 50 different module manufacturers. This is since 2012. This is the testing program here. As you can see, it's fairly extensive. It's about a 6 or 7 month testing program. I won't go into the details of each individual test, but wanted to present it here so you could see it. All of the samples are physically witnessed in the factories, so no manufacturers are selecting samples, but all the samples are independently selected by PVEL. This testing program just last year introduced a few new tests to capture evolving technology that is we're seeing. Namely, we added this backsheet durability sequence. We have been seeing in the US market and globally backsheet failures after about 5 to 7 years of field exposure. There is possibility of embrittlement of the backsheet and cracks to form. This can cause leakage currents and ground faults in the field. So this backsheet durability sequence we developed over the course of 1 or 2 years, and we're able to stimulate these same backsheet cracks in a laboratory environment that we see in the field. Additionally, we've been seeing LETID, or light and elevated temperature induced degradation. This is a new aging behavior that came with PERC. As PERC and other high efficiency cell technologies started to pick up market share, we started to see more and more of this LETID degradation, which is similar to LID, but has a temperature component as well and is physically a different mechanism inside the cell. Additionally, we're offering PAN files and IAM as part of the PQP. This is needed for energy assessments for PV-Syst. So we use the scorecard to promote the manufacturers that perform well in the testing. So as I mentioned before, we perform the same PQP testing program in the lab on many different manufacturers. Those that perform well, specifically beyond a certain threshold of 2% degradation throughout the entire testing sequence, we put in this 2020 PV module reliability scorecard report and promote them. And ZNShine, I'm happy to say, was a top performer in this year's scorecard report. This is a free download. I encourage everybody to go to this website here and download your copy to see, to learn about the testing programs. This is the 6th edition of this, so we've been publishing this for 6 years now. So as I mentioned, ZNShine was a top performer, and we'd like to congratulate ZNShine for participating in the program and producing modules that passed all of the rigorous testing that we threw at it. This is some actual data from our testing experience. This is on 3 different testing programs. On the left, you can see thermal cycling. Each bar in this bar chart is a different bill of materials from a different manufacturer. The green highlighted bars are what we've highlighted in the 2020 scorecard, and the black ones are just historical data that we've collected over the years. Starting from the left, thermal cycling is where a PV module is brought to 85 degrees Celsius, cooled down to -40 Celsius, and then cycled up and down. And this program repeats 600 cycles. So this causes the glass and the silicon and the metal to expand and contract as the product is heated and cooled. And that causes interfacial fatigue of things like solder joints. So the internal circuit can degrade if not built properly. In the middle, you can see the dynamic mechanical load sequence. This includes a physical deflection of the module followed by some environmental stress. The physical deflection causes cell cracks to appear. Silicon is a very brittle material, and the cracks can form when deflection happens. And then environmentally cycling the module causes the cracks to propagate and to cause performance loss. In the field, this happens from snow loading or wind loading or just rough handling during installation. On the right side, you can see PID. This is a fairly important stress in that we see quite a bit of modules that don't actually perform that well. In 2020, we saw a higher magnitude on average of PID degradation relative to previous years. So this is far from solved in general. However, you can see also a lot of modules that perform quite well. So there have been a number of manufacturers that have that are able to design modules and build modules that are able to be quite robust and withstand these various stresses. ZNShine has also worked with PVEL historically, being a top performer in 2016, 2019, and again in 2020 this year. We look forward to ZNShine participating in the scorecard in 2021 as well. So thank you everyone for your attention, and again, encourage everybody to go to this website here for a free download of the scorecard.
Thank you, Mr. Jenya. It's a very good presentation and make us learn quite a lot for your job. And thank you so much to give us a award this year. Much appreciated. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Maybe just now you have already know some special benefits for our graphene coating. So maybe a lot of guests or here, or maybe some audience want to know why ZNShine graphene coating panel is hard to be on the dust and to do the special benefits for the hydrophilic. So let me warmly welcome our technical manager, Mr. Eric Zhang, to give the presentation, let you know some theory how to make it happen. Actually, Mr. Wang is the PhD from the Technical University of China, but he is available for this seminar this time. So Eric will give the presentation on behalf of Mr. Wang. So Eric, it's your turn. Let's give you a wonderful speech.
Okay. And hello, everyone. This is Eric from ZNShine. And yeah,
screen.
I will show you the key feature. No, sure. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, very good.
Okay. I will show you the key feature of graphene coating module and their related principle. First of all, as we know, graphene is a famous material in the world. It has many special advantages. So when we combine the graphene material with our AIC coating or glass, we will get better properties, such as good light transmittance and self-cleaning and anti-dust, and then our customer will get more power generation. And usually, after our evaluation, we can get 2% more power via standard modules. The first key feature which I want to say is self-cleaning. We did some dust comparison in our test field, and the graphene coating panels have better self-cleaning performance. You can notice that the surface of graphene coating module is more clean, and we also have a video. We place the panel in outside 20 months. You can notice from the video, it looks very clean. And even when we touch the surface, we just can get less dust. Okay. Actually, the main factor of self-cleaning is the surface. Yes, the surface is hydrophilic. If you are familiar with the surface chemistry, you must know the contact angle between the surface of the two kinds of nectar. When the contact angle is less than 20 degrees, we can call it as hydrophilic. And if the angle is less than 10 degrees, we call it is super hydrophilic. So when the water drop onto the hydrophilic surface, such as the paper, the water will extend quickly. But if the water drop onto the surface of hydrophobic, such as lotus leaf, water will keep round form. Usually, the hydrophilic surface will be rough. Then the specific area can be big. We also do the SEM test for this kind of structure. You can see that the surface is just like the continuum mountain. The surface is rough, and after the test, our lowest contact angle of graphene coating surface can be less than 5 degrees. So the surface of graphene coating is super hydrophilic. Next page, I want to show the principle of cell cleaning. Previously, I have mentioned that if the surface is hydrophilic and the water will extend fully and quickly when it drop onto the surface. And you can imagine that based on this picture, when the rain drop onto this surface, it will extend and will find some gap between the dirt and the surface. And then the water will go under the dirt and lift the dirt. And finally, bring the dirt away. So the first step, extending because of hydrophilic, I think it is most important factor. And then next, I want to discuss the second key point, anti-dust. You can notice from this picture, the left panel is our graphene coating panels, and the right is normal panel. Obviously, dust cannot adhere onto the surface of the module, and it also can be easily taken away by wind. Actually, the anti-dust performance is due to some unique structure of the coating. We do some test and comparison. We can see the different structure. Graphene just have the semi-closed pore structure. But the normal glass structure is 4 open hole. So the hole of the graphene coating is smaller than normal. And the below picture is some dust testing comparison. You can see that the dust on the graphene coating glass is less than the normal. The next, I want to show you an amusing principle. We can imagine that the structure is formed by hairs and values, and finally we can form an air layer. This air layer is just like the shoes air cursing. I think maybe some boys like basketball can understand this. The cursing on the shoes. And this kind of cursing is elastic at first, but it is very hard to compress at the last minute. Also the diameter of this hertz is less than 100 nanometer, but usually we can see the diameter of the particle. When the dust particle drop towards to the surface of coating, it will roll into the valley with large porosity. The air in the valley be compressed at first, but finally it will expand into the initial volume naturally. So the dust particle surely will be removed during this process. Usually the principle is very boring. I think maybe this kind of principle which I show to you is amusing. And finally, as we know, when we create a new material or structure, we must need to evaluate the reliability. Here is some reliability test in the third-party library, and we evaluate the humidity 1,000 hours, and the temperature cycle, UV, and even sand resistance, acid resistance, salt resistance for the graphene coating glass, and all the result of this kind of test is positive. The result of sand test for graphene glass is just the degradation of transmittance, just 0.2%. And usually this value for the normal glass can reach to 7%. Okay, today I am just focused on the main factor and their principle of graphene coating. If you have any question, please contact me. We will give you a reply later. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Very good presentation and very professional. Your petition, like us know, this dust, the normal dust, even PM 2.5, it should be 250 for my calculation is correct or wrong. You can correct me. So it's around 250 times larger than our heel, right? On the graphene coating. So that means our glass is with the different small heels, but the dust just hanging is up on our small heels. So that's why the dust is not easy to be on the valley. My understanding is correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Because the particle is bigger than the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And now I think our Polish distributor know why our panel for graphene coating is not easy to be dust on that and to self-cleaning. So it's really good. Thank you so much. That's all for the topic speech for this webinar. And for the last part, we will have some panel discussion with all of our guests. As most of our guests here all related to distribution market. So as for the solar panel suppliers, we would like to know for your ending client, what their demand, what they're challenging, what they want from you and from our suppliers. What kind of support you need from us can give our distributors and the wholesale clients some great assist to develop and assist your own business. That's my first question. I think probably all of our guests have some work to see. Leo, you are the top distributor. What kind of support you think all your ending clients need from you and need from us?
We in Australia,
Yeah.
the customers actually is caring more about the service. You know, if you want to grow big in Australia, service is the one you can't avoid. And because Australia has very strict rule, like they have fair trading, to govern the rule, and that's kind of like consumer law. So if you can't fulfill your task on service, and they always will installers feel upset about that. They don't like dealing with you. So I think service is the key.
Okay, you mean the after sales service for the panel suppliers, or what kind of other services, financing, or maybe some platform or some inverters? So I don't know. I just imagine it's brainstorm.
Yeah.
What kind of service you think
Sure.
is key for you to develop your business?
Yeah. So in Australia, because distribution market is more narrow to below 100 kilowatt system. So that means residential plus small commercial rooftop. So these customers, for residential customers, obviously they care about after sales service, and for small medium business customer, commercial customer, they also very sensitive to after sales service. So after sales service is very important. It's very important. Yeah.
Yeah. Australia and China, I think Poland or other markets is similar, because your ending customer should be in the remote area, maybe far from your warehouse, you are far from the installer. But
yes,
the end customer maybe have less knowledge about solar business, right? Solar technology, house insulation. What the problem is this? They just know, oh, no power generation of my system on the roof. What can I do? So if you one-stop came across this kind of problems, what will you do?
We will try to use our own installer network to find someone to near him to help him first. Yeah, but of course we in the meantime we'll talk to the supplier, to like ZNShine. We need to talk to you to provide the correct service.
So you have to have more ZNShine panel in your warehouse, but you don't need.
Yes. Yeah, and we have different warehouses in different areas, so it should be fine from us, but of course need your approval too.
Yeah. For your presentation, you have dozens of warehouses along all this coast of Australia. That's good. That's good. So thank you, Leo. And I want to also ask the same question for Krzysztof. So Krzysztof, sir, you may came across a similar problem for your ending customer. If they're challenging your panel, inverter, or maybe the system is not very good, how did you give the response after sales service? What kind of support you need from us? What's your opinion?
Z naszej strony, jakie jest Pana zdanie na ten temat?
Znaczy, wydaje mi się, że moduły nie psują się ogólnie, nie ma jakichś sytuacji takich, żeby klienci potrzebowali wsparcia. Teraz
I think that the modules don't generally get broken, so that customers don't need any support in this respect.
Może w Polsce nie jest tak gorąco jak w Australii, ale raczej nie ma sytuacji związanych z problemami technicznymi modułów.
Maybe Poland is not as hot as Australia, but we don't get any technical issues with the modules.
Myślę, że ważną rzeczą jest wprowadzenie teraz właśnie monitoringu falowników, żeby każdy instalator wszystko widział u klienta i to chyba jest najlepszy sposób. Wtedy może instalator reagować od razu na jakieś problemy z awariami, bo te nowe falowniki ze sztuczną inteligencją pozwalają na kontrolę online właściwie wszystkich instalacji, które są zainstalowane.
What's now important is perhaps to introduce the online monitoring of inverters, like I said, because then the installers can monitor all their installations and respond immediately. As I said, those new artificial intelligence inverters can handle the detection of all and any failures and errors.
No tak jak mówię, tylko się cieszyć, że z modułami nie mamy żadnych problemów, więc nie widzę tutaj jakiejś szczególnej potrzeby działania producenta czy pomocy nam.
Like I said, we can only be happy that there are no special issues with the modules so that we don't need any help from the manufacturer. So we can be happy about it.
To tyle, dziękuję.
That would be all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So you mean in your inverter, you are on site to checking their power generation for every systems.
Jeżeli chodzi o to, żeby te inwertery były w każdym systemie tak naprawdę, te inwertery ze sztuczną inteligencją.
To zdecydowanie tak. No to ułatwia bezpieczeństwo tych wszystkich instalacji. Jeśli mamy w jednym monitorze system kontroli każdego błędu instalacji, czy to jest łuk elektryczny, czy to jest przebicie na kablu, czy to jest błąd czegokolwiek, to zdecydowanie praktycznie wyłącza możliwość uszkodzeń tej instalacji. Ja sobie nie wyobrażam, żeby instalator dostaje alarm na systemie monitoringu, no na pewno sam od razu będzie działał. Więc...
So yes, such artificial intelligence inverters would be a perfect solution in terms of safety, because then we can monitor everything on a single screen, be it an electric arc or maybe some short on a cable or any other error. And in such a case, basically no damage, no lasting damage would be possible, because if an installer sees such an error or a failure, they will be able to act immediately on it.
Mamy podgląd do ponad 100 parametrów pracy i modułów i falownika, tak, czyli wydaje mi się tylko się cieszyć z tego, że ktoś coś wymyślił lepszego, jak było.
So what we have is an overview of over 100 parameters of both modules and the inverters, and that gives us a lot of information, and we can be happy that some clever guy came up with this idea to make our lives easier.
Very good. But only, sorry, maybe I lost some point. Just one last question. If I think you do very careful selection for your equipment, for module, for inverter, cable, but
staramy się sprzedawać tylko double glass, bo uważamy, jesteśmy przekonani po prostu o tym, że to jest lepszy moduł i bezpieczniejszy. Staramy się mówić instalatorom, żeby instalowali te moduły jak najdalej od materiałów palnych, bo to jest ważne. Wtedy możemy mieć jakiś łuk elektryczny, ale jeśli on jest oddalony od powierzchni palnej o jakąś bezpieczną odległość, to możemy sobie takie łuki robić kilka razy dziennie na dachu.
Yeah, what we do is we generally promote double glass panels because we believe they are better and safer, and we tell our installers to mount these modules as far as possible from any flammable surface, because in such situations, even if there is some electric arc, if it's at a safe distance from a flammable surface, it can happen several times a day and nothing wrong will happen.
Okay, good. Very glad to hear that. No problem for a panel.
Jeszcze chciałem powiedzieć, bo są trzy zasady.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Give it out the husband first. So thank you, Mr. Krzysztof. So maybe Mr. Shao, you are, the founder for distributor market in China. You came across a similar problem, and what's your solution from China side? Any good experience to share with us? 徐少秘书长您好，那我们刚才在讨论，就是我们终端，因为分布式的这种市场，终端客户可能都离我们的分销商很远，那么他们又不是很专业，出现任何的这种问题，他们都很头疼，他不知道怎么办。那么您是中国这个光伏的这个起源人之一了，您对于中国市场有些什么样的经验来解决这些问题吗？可以给我们一些客户一些分享吗？ Sorry, I speak Chinese and I will translate Mr. Xu's suggestion in English later. Sorry. Please, 徐秘书长，您请讲。
是这样，中国的话，目前因为原来基于中国的体制，我们所以才会有那个加薪模式的创新。但是呢，针对全球的话呢，我是有一点建议啊，就是还是从运维。 第一个从运维的服务，
您觉得怎么来解决这种客户又小又远，然后又不懂，又出了问题又要找你麻烦，这种比较头疼的问题，中国的这种大的分销商他们是怎么解决的？
中国的大的分销商，因为基于那个分布式，我们主要还是基于一个园区，一个小镇。 这么小一个社区，这么小，完了以后作为一个网点，就相当于，那边的一个，便利店吧，作为它的一个联络处。但是呢，在中国，因为跟海外的体制不一样，我们这边是政府主导，但是呢，在海外，我是建议就是咱们用那个便利店的那种方式，加油站。 便利店离当地的社区最近的点去做这样的售后服务，可能需要我们的销售员做很多的前期的宣传工作。也就是说，这些宣传以及培训，基于你是义务的，你是公益的，完了以后让加油站。 他加油便利，卖水、卖油的同时，把我们的产品宣传出去，把我们的维修的便利方法告诉客户。这就是我去年从欧洲一路开车，从德国一路开车，包括那个奥地利、瑞士、意大利，一路。 行走的过程当中，我在思考的，就是看到了德国、欧洲、奥地利以及意大利很多的乡村有我们的太阳能，但是呢，一旦故障的时候，可能我们的电工去运维比较远，时间就会耽误。所以呢，我一直在想，能不能用更好、更便捷的方法。 能够在第一时间得到报警的同时，我们能够找到，就像收购地图一样，能够找到最近的点。然后呢，第一，我们的电工也不用很等待顾客，因为加油站或者社区的便利店第一时间就通知他了。所以我想，可能未来的运维还是基于数据的收集，以及。 卖产品的，以及就是我们把解决问题的思维要打开，因为客户最终要买的，除了产品的本身，更多的是我们的服务。我们能不能做一些差异性的服务，做一些物有所值的服务，这才是我们跟客服的粘合度更高。 更久，除了我们销售员本身的热情，他需要。
好的，徐秘书长，非常感谢您的这个精彩回复。我来给全球的观众翻译一下啊。那个不好意思，因为我们时间有限。 So Mr. Xu said, I think a very interesting answer from her. He said, by the Chinese experience for the big distributors, this give the O&M service is leading by the local government. So every local community, this will be have one stop. This the government set up the stop to give this the after-sale service to every household. So every community, every area, they will have some stops in Jiaxing. So the government gives the support to every household, and the government to pay some money to them. And the government will also earn some money from the suppliers, such as distributors in solars. So that's the Chinese experience, what we are doing now in China. But she also gives some suggestions. I think this suggestion can be used not only in China, can be global. He said, yes, true. For the remote area, it's very costly to do O&M for every one single household. If every very small defeat of equipment, maybe just a switch on, switch off, switch on, that's be done. So what we can do, she suggests, we can coordinate with the local petrol station or small supermarket and in the different area. Maybe just similar like KFC or McDonald's. They have so many shops in the global areas, every community. So we can do some cooperation with them. They are near the household, every household. We can pay some money to them, and we can train someone in their company, in their shops, and they can do some O&M service for our distributors. So, and he said, in the future, by her experience, finally, all for our distributors and wholesalers, we will finally compete in the market with others by our unique service and fast response. And like One Stop Leo said, the service is very important, especially for after-sale service. Anyone buy our system, such as buy our ZNShine baby, right? This is whole system. We have to be sure this system can be operating very well. Is there something down? We have to give a fast response. Otherwise, they will feel very weak. How can do, right? So Mr. Xu said, we have to monitor, like Mr. Kaufman said, we have monitored data online and to checking every small system, how's it going? Is anything trouble? We can find our partners in the different religion and give the fast response to them. So that's the Mr. Xu's suggestion. So I think our country manager Colin is also in this panel discussion. Any question from your side? Or any suggestion from you? Colin, are there? Hello, Colin.
Okay, I'm back. Yes, my line dropped temporarily. Yes, I think one of the most interesting, let's say, topic would be, just as an addition to whatever you have already put to the panelists, is that as a distributor, as Krzysztof and Leo has already indicated, what are the, let's say, main requirements and or wishes that you would like to put to, let's say, panel manufacturer like ZNShine, in order to make your business more successful in the channels, in the distribution channels that you are working on?
So I'll go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
It's a general question.
Yeah. For my presentation, you already see that we're actually growing. We're still growing. We grew very well, and this year we even if we have this COVID-19 crisis, we're still growing, and it's volume still increase, and revenue still increase. But we also give credit terms, credit accounts to our customer. Yeah, we give them some, but not too much, and give them maybe like 14 days, 21 days, or 30 days accounts. But in the meantime, because we're growing, we also need support from manufacturers like ZNShine to support us on the financial side too. I think that's part of a yeah, kind of like a request, right?
Yeah, I understood. Just on this point, I think my understanding of what you're saying is that, you know, with the very rapid growth you have experienced over the years, then of course there is a limit, or let's say rather constraint on your growth because of different, let's say, resources. And what you're indicating really is about the credit limit that you may get, either through the trade credit or through whatever the financing or loans that your business might get from the banks, for instance, as you give the credit to your end user or your customers, right? In different terms, of course. So now I actually would like to, let's say, direct this point to Mr. Liu from SUNLOVE. Because obviously SUNLOVE has done a great job to help the, let's say, manufacturers in China to, let's say, promote their products with, let's say, the credit insurance where it is required. So maybe, you know, I would like to have your Lily's, let's say, consent, and also Mr. Liu's, let's say, acceptance to introduce something about the SUNLOVE that you might be able to help, let's say, distributors like Leo or Krzysztof from different countries.
Yeah, I think Mr. Liu may be on site to reply some questions to us. I'm not so sure he is available to talk. Hello? Mr. Liu? Hi. Mr. Liu. Thank you for joining our panel discussion.
Yeah, it actually is very honored, and I'm glad to participate in this webinar. Actually, I think I'm a brand new student in the solar industry, and
you are key for our business. You are the key to our business.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, I have learned much knowledge from all the guests, and it will help me to do my job. And at first, I think if you can give me maybe additional 5 to 10 minutes, I will give you all the audience about our company SUNLOVE, what we can do to help your business between your suppliers and the buyers. Yeah, maybe 5 minutes. Is it okay?
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
We extend to 10 minutes for you. Okay.
Yeah, very honored. Yeah, very honored.
Yeah.
Maybe some friends and audience in this webinar may be not familiar with our company. Our company named SUNLOVE, and what we can do to help expand the business between modules and buyers. SUNLOVE, which is short for China Export and Credit Insurance Corporation, it is a policy-oriented insurance corporation owned by the central government of China. And on behalf of Chinese central government, SUNLOVE is aimed to support the foreign trade of Chinese companies like ZNShine Solar. ZNShine Solar actually is one of our most important clients. We have cooperated over 10 years. And for Chinese sellers, SUNLOVE underwrites the export credit risk and support Chinese companies to break through the international market. And when it comes to our topic, the solar industry, all the people participating in this webinar are in the forefront of the industry. And you guys, I think you are totally understand this industry is sort of unstable because the industry have related to the situation of the policy of the host countries. And when we talk about module business, most of the buyers, maybe distributors or EPC or maybe project owners, and their repayment to our suppliers like ZNShine sometimes will rely on their downstream payment or even revenue of specific solar project, which makes the over maybe 50% of the terms of payment is deferred payment, like using letter of credit or even open account. Once there are some changes of the policy in the host countries or deterioration of the downstream entity, the receivables will be maybe hard to collect for the module supplier, and they will encounter big loss, and which we call is credit risk. And what is that risk is able to be covered by our company, ZNShine. And our ZNShine is the only official credit insurance institution in China. Once the credit risk is covered, the company of photovoltaic industry, no matter what they sell, like the modules, inverters, mounting systems, PV glass, will have confidence as no fear to break the international market. And without doubt, will expand their foreign market. For buyer overseas, it also has benefits, because if they have the credit granted by our company, they will be able to buy cargoes from Chinese suppliers with deferred payment, like uses uses letter of credit and the over account, up to 3 months. This action will ease the buyer's cash flow without doubt. And Lily mentioned before, the entity or the buyers participate in this webinar maybe they most act as distributors. And I will give a brief introduction, maybe 2 more minutes, about the credit application. Is okay? Yeah. The credit application can be only started by suppliers in China, like ZNShine Solar, because they are our direct clients. And the most important function of the credit is to cover their receivable risk. And the second, the credit application amount is based on the shipping schedule, terms of payment, and the contract amount. Credit amount is the peak amount of the receivables during the whole trade process. And the last but not least is what we need to evaluate the credit. First, we need the registered name and address of the buyer entity. A presentation of the buyer will be much more great. And the second is the latest financial report of the entity, and the audit version of the financials will be preferred. And the third is the downstream sales condition, which means what's the buyers purchase panels for. And like they buy the panels for a residential project or commercial project or even larger scale solar farm. If the credit amount is over $5 million, the detailed information of the project will be needed. We will provide a form to collect the information like the project finance source, and maybe off-take of the PPA and name of the APC and so on. And then fourth, other information which will support the buyer's payment ability, like the credit information from their bank, and if the entity even gets insurance to cover their receivables from their downstream entity, this will be need as well. And this year, actually, this is very special because the COVID-19 is international business much more complicated. And during this difficult period, our company wants to help and to expand your business. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Oh, that's really appreciated. Particularly the last statement they made that ZNShine is really ready and geared to assist, let's say, the business in general, particularly in the solar industry. Really appreciate it, especially for the rapid growth companies like One Stop and also Krzysztof's business in Pingling.
Yeah,
right.
It's our next work. Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind, really, I actually would like to get some input from William of Bloomberg, because I think William, probably you have some very valuable information or statistics, let's put it like this, about the let's say credit default scenarios, you know, for the solar industry in general, as well as in this particular period of COVID-19, in a current period, or maybe starting already from the first quarter this year.
When you say credit default scenarios, you mean installers that are folding?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's
You know,
not
from a high-level statistics perspective, do you have this kind of input or statistics?
it's not something we have numbers on. It's only been a month or two so far, so I'm not sure how many installers don't hold enough capital to ride out a month or two. I think what you also see in the short-term data, at least in Australia, is an uptick in interest during the lockdown.
Yeah.
So in March, there was definitely a downturn as everybody went out to the shops and bought toilet paper. But in April, once everything normalized and people had a lot more time at home, people really focused their energy on home improvement. So we saw quotes for solar really increase. The STC subsidy claims really increase in April. I think if we refer back to my presentation, I said that 2020 was going to be kind of a bad year for solar. And that's because I think a lot of the people that would usually buy solar throughout 2020 and spread the demand over the years, they've actually used all their spare time at home, and a lot of that demand has been concentrated in April. So I wouldn't say that many installers have folded yet, because March was bad, but April was okay. But we might get some better numbers on it before the end of the year. Hopefully no one has to fold. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone keeps their job.
Yeah. I think
it's a bit early to say.
Yeah, it's pretty positive scenario as you just explained, and it may also tell the reason why, because Leo has actually presented, say, from January till May this year, one-stop warehouse business has increased more than 20%. Over the same period last year. And this is amazing, because there are so many kind of skepticism in the market saying, because of the COVID-19, because of the economic downturn in general, so how solar industry in general has been affected, particularly in the residential market. And maybe this, I hope, will give some, let's say, good reflections on the Sinosure side, Mr. Liu. Okay, to you, Lily, then.
Thank you. Hi. So I think Mr. Jenya, you are the expert for the products. For the distribution market, our ending client, maybe every household, maybe just the boss for the enterprise, the company. So they are not experts for solar. So what kind of products you think is the more suitable and more comfortable for the distribution clients? Could you give some suggestions? Mr. Jenya from PV.
Yeah, hi, this is Jenya. So I can't comment on what installers would find more convenient, because as a test lab, we are not installing any PV systems. However, every installer has to deal with any quality issues in the field. So the thing that we would stress the most is maintaining a focus on qualifying suppliers and only purchasing modules from somebody who can meet high quality marks, like meeting top performer in the scorecard, to avoid warranty claims and truck rolls to underperforming systems. But in terms of convenience for installers, I've never personally installed a PV system myself.
Thank you for the suggestion. We need to put more products in your third-party lab and get a more top performer to our client. Okay.
That's right.
Mr. Jenya, thank you so much. Any more input from our guests for this topic?
I also have some questions.
Okay, Eric.
It is about our roadmap for product, and after some simulation or consideration about variability and supply chain, maybe our main product during the next 1 year will be some product with 90D 160 millimeter cells. And we also want to combine the graphene coating technology and coating value into wafer. So for this kind of new product, we want to know how to control the reliability and quality. So
yeah, I think I got you. Your audio was cutting in and out a little bit, but so the new ZNShine products that you are pursuing, it seems there's quite dynamic conditions right now regarding wafer size in the solar industry. In general, solar technology is evolving faster now than it has for a long time, and there's a bit of a race for wafer size. It was 156.75 millimeter for the last for the recent history in the solar industry, but now is quickly growing to 166 millimeter or 180 millimeter or even 210 millimeter. One important consideration is that increasing wafer size will cause increased module size, of course, and this has an impact on the torsional wind resistance for trackers. So trackers will need to be re-engineered to handle larger format modules. That can be done, but it is an additional consideration that needs to be taken into account. Additionally, as products get larger, thermal stresses increase as there is thermal expansion and contraction in the field. There is potential for more stress on the internal components in the module. So of course, this is where reliability testing of PV modules is critical before selecting an approved vendor.
Okay, Jenya, thank you so much for all of our guests. Give very good speech, and I think for myself, I learn a lot from all of you. You are really good teacher from my side, and we have sharing the experience for 3 countries. We have international organization give very good guidelines. So thank you. I only can see. Thank you so much. It's hard to say goodbye, but you know, time is already 10 minutes. So last part, I would like all of our guests, including our team, to take picture together. Please switch on your camera, including all of team. Our 2 interpreter had already crazy, I think. Rodrigo, Linda, have already crazy for 2 hours online interpreting, right? Linda, switch your camera. Switch on your camera. Okay, let's all guests to take picture together. Thank you so much for our second global webinar. Thank you for attending and give very excellent performances. Thank you all. Looking forward to seeing next time. Thank you, Global Cat. Bye.
Appreciate for your time and
appreciate. Really appreciate.
Thank you.
Thank you.